Hi coloring friends and welcome to my adult coloring channel. This is my first video of 2024 and so I wish you all a happy new year and a colorful one. In this video I'm going to share my completed pages from December, which were only 2 pages. You can see the book that I've worked in. And that's the reason why I decided to combine them with my completed pages wrap up for 2023. So I want to share with you one more time all the pages that I have colored in the past year, and I have put them into categories. So one of my goals for 2023 was actually to color 52 pages, so that makes 1 page per week. And if you want to know if I managed to fulfill this goal, stay tuned until the end. I will share some stats at the end. Also, how many whips I got finished and how many new books I have started. So how many uncolored books, let's say. So, and now let's get started. The first category is my list of shame books, because the pages that I have colored in December were actually from this category. So if you want to know what my list of shame is and which artists and books are on it, I will link it up in the right hand corner for you so that you can check out the video for that. In 2024 I also want to work on this list, so this is one of my goals, to reduce this list by the end of the year hopefully. So these are 2 artists, as you can see, and yeah, let's get started. I'm going to start with the first one, which is Calepin Dart by Maud Lamont. This is a calendar. It contains only 12 images, and I have colored the page for December here. So this is my very first colored image by Maud Lamont, and yeah, this book is on my 10 books to finish eventually. I had it on my list of shame books. I also had it on a challenge, books that I wanted to get started with in 2023. So I put it on different challenges so that I finally color one of these images. And I have to say it was no fun. So this paper here is extremely smooth. It's not thin, also not thick, but not the thinnest paper that we know, but it is the smoothest paper. And so smooth paper is actually not so perfect when you want to layer or shade, or it's not the perfect paper for pencils basically. There is differences between smooth papers, but this is almost like a marker paper. So the markers worked very well on this paper, but the pencils not so much. It was not so much fun for me. And so the wings of her, they actually shaded only with alcohol markers. So I just took 3 different colors and made this blend here. This was a lot of fun, and I think that looks also very nice. And then on most parts I actually went over with a few pencils, like on the clouds. Just a little bit of, I used a yellow light marker and then went over with some pinkish pencils to make this very soft look here of pinkish clouds. I really like this, and yeah, I was very happy when this page was finished because, as I said, this was not so much fun. So let's continue, and I will show you the second page that I colored. So this was Maud Lamont Calepin Dart. So then I'm actually very happy that I have colored my first image from Teresa Goodrich, and this is Christmas Charm. Her Christmas books are actually my most favorite books of hers. And yeah, so this is the first page that I have ever colored from Teresa Goodrich. It was a started page, so a whip. And yeah, I'm actually quite happy with the outcome. I think Teresa pages always look nice. So I followed a Helen Ellison tutorial here on those stones and also on the bricks here. So that was nice and easy. Then I also tried to incorporate some shine from the window, from the light coming from the inside to the snow, and also added in some pinks here. That should be from the sky here. I think there are some little flaws because here was I think that looks a little bit strange that this just how it ended here, but it's okay. So yeah, I think there's not a whole lot to say about this page actually, so let me give you a close-up. I hope you can see everything quite well. I don't have a lot of sparkle on this page here, basically just a little bit of a silver gel pen here and there. And that's actually all. So this was Christmas Charm by Teresa Goodrich. And then my last page from this category, a list of shame books and artists, is Anastasia Ali Koldareva. This page I had colored in October. Yeah, this page I had colored in October. And yeah, I was inspired after I had colored my first image of her to work a little bit more on my list of shame. To, you know, there are just 10 artists on this list. And I have read in 2023, and hopefully in 24 I can do a lot more. So this was a PDF book, kind of like a compilation book from Anastasia, and it was more for early books, so her recent books are not in here, but some images of the more earlier books. And you know, for me it's quite difficult to get her books because they are extremely expensive. So expensive that they are, for me, getting stuck in the customs, and I don't want that. So, yeah. Yeah. I only have 2 books of hers, and I want to start to color in those books this year as well in 2024. But I'm very happy that I colored my very first page of her. So. Yeah, and on this page I don't have any glitters, any special effects, because it is just beautiful as it is, I think. So, the next category is completed whips in 2023. So, and I'm going to start with this book here. This is A Fairy Lives in Every Garden by Destiny Alortson. Yeah, this is a book that I very like. Now, let me see if I can find the image. So, this is the one that I had as a whip when the year started. And yeah, I finished this one in 2023. So all the pages that I'm going to show you now are started pages that I just finished in 2023. And I used a little bit of stickles here on this page. Colored the background with ink tints and use Prismacolors and marker bases like I always do in these Amazon printed books. That is just a technique that works very fine for me. And so let's continue. I also finished a page from Magical Dawn. This is a book by Hannah Carlson, and one of my targets was to color more with watercolors, and that is something that I did in 2023. So this background is done with the Gansai Tambi watercolors from Kuretake, Japanese watercolors, and I also used a product named this thing here, Lindy Stamp Gang Magical Powders. And yeah, here's some kind of like mica powder and some colored powder, and you just mix it with water. I just sprinkled some on here and then sprayed it with water, and that gave this quite nice effect. So hopefully that is showing up. I actually really like how this came out. And finally, I found a way how to use those powders there. I have them from my crafting time when I was interested in crafting, and so now I found a way to incorporate it in my coloring, which is very nice. And actually I forgot to color in those little gemstones here, so that is something that I still need to do. So I will keep this book out and just get this done very soon. Give you a close-up. Magical Dawn by Hannah Carlson. So then I have Fantasy and Fairy Cuties by Daria Sakesoy. This is, also one of my favorite books. And this is actually also the first page that I had colored in this book. but I have printed it on PDF paper. Just a normal standard printer paper, 160 grams, so not so standard. But yeah, on this one I also used my Gansai Tambi watercolors and also the Guerrero brand here for the shiny stuffed bits there. And yeah, to experiment more with the watercolors. And I'm actually quite happy with this background here. I think that looks quite nice with the yellows and the pinks. I really enjoyed it, and yeah, so we'll give you a quick close-up. And then I have colored more from this book. It's in the back here. So it's here. This one was also printed because I bought them before the book came out, and I finished them when I had the book, basically. So the background on this image is also done with watercolors, also with some Gansai Tambi pearlescent colors. And I'm not so happy with this background here actually. I think, doesn't look that nice. However, another goal of mine was actually to color snails. You can see here. And this is also something that I will continue in 2024. I just want to focus a little bit on images that have snails, count them, how many snails. I just find this very nice. I found out that our coloring pages very often have snails in them, and those are actually quite quick and easy to color. So I decided to just do this as a personal prompt for myself. How many snails, and will continue to focus a little bit on snail images if I can. So, and then I have one last whip that I finished in 2024, and it is this Miss Rosie here. She was colored with the Artex markers, which I wanted to try out, and then also with the Artex pencils, because I thought when I have base layered her with the Artex markers, the alcohol markers, then I can also try to finish her with the Artex pencils. And you can see that it worked quite well actually in this book here. I show some muted colors also. I used a lot of glitter here. For example, one of my favorite supplies or special effects was the Mod Podge Mega Glitter Palettes. I will show it to you. It's this product here. So this is, I think, one of my favorite glitter glues. It's a huge bottle, but the glue is matte, so it's not shiny, and only the glitter will shine, and that's very nice. I love it. I use it a lot on dresses. And then here on the background, I used just distress inks and a stencil. And then I also went in here with this, I can also show you. It is this thing here, Cosmic Shimmer Opal Blaze Polish. However, I cannot recommend this stuff here because it's actually drying up so very quickly. So I tried to use it a lot more last year to use it up basically. I do love the effect that it gives, but it's just annoying that it's drying up so quickly. So this was Miss Rosie from Fantasy and Fairy Cuties by Daria Sakasoy. So then I also finished some whips from Fairy and Fantasy 3. And it is this page here. So the background was done with gelatos, and on her hair I actually tried to give her some blonde hair at the top and then some pinkish hair when we go down and make it darker. So that was actually quite fun, and I think that the result is actually also quite nice with all the pinks, the pink dress and pink makeup and the pink hair, pink blonde hair. And I also used this Opal Blaze polish here on the corner, and then I finished another whip, and it was this one here. This was actually a quickie because you can see that the image is basically not that big, it's quite small. Most of it is background, so I did this either with gelatos or I think I did it with distress inks because I can see some fingerprints there. So, and here on the background I actually used Luna paste and with a stencil. So Luna paste, I love to use it with a stencil. That is actually the best way to use it, the most effective, I think. And then I finished another page from this book, and it is where is it? Here. So this is another page that I finished. I had started it in the Christmas time in 2022 and then finished this one in March. And yeah. I also have finished some PDF pages, of course, and this page here is by Lana Green Art. Don't Open, is it called, I think, or something like that. Background again with the gelatos, with the shimmer gelatos, then the opal blaze polish here, some glitters, and I just give you a little bit of a close-up of it. I actually don't have to say a lot about this one here. Then another PDF page that I finished was this Mustic Art Mirrors page here. On this one I have actually used a lot of shimmer and sparkle stuff. Also the Lindy's Magical Stem Powder here in the background again. But here I don't like it as much because it's not merging good enough with the background, I think, in this case. The background was done with Distress ink, so maybe this works better with watercolors. Or it's just too light this color, I don't know. Used a lot of stickles here, on the pumpkin, for example, some glitter watercolors there. And on her hair, I used the Clear Star by Jelly Roll. And, on Mustic Art Mirrors hair, I actually like to follow all the lines with this Clear Star Jelly Roll. Because I think that looks actually quite nice. So, Mustic Art Mirrors. And then I have Annie's Guerrero here. And on this one I used my Neo colors to make a very faint and soft background. And I also used some shiny watercolors to give it a little bit of an effect, like she was kind of like glowing. Also, I also used a lot of stickles here on her dress. The dress is colored with Inkten. That was a lot of fun. So in 2023, I actually tried to find ways to speed up my coloring, and that is just to incorporate Inktens and all the other mediums and not go over everything with pencils. Of course, skin and hair I usually color with pencils. But then I try to shade with alcohol markers and, as I said, use my Inktens and just find ways to speed up my coloring, have fun, and still make it look nice. So this was Annie's Guerrero. So then here I have another page by Christine Karan, and this was one of her Patreon rewards when she still had her Patreon active. And this one is also included in the new book that she just recently brought out, the Fairy and Fantasy 6 or 5. Maybe 5. And then the background was only colored with alcohol marker, so this was another attempt of speeding it up, while the main character is colored with pencils. And then here on her dress, I again used the glitter Mod Podge. This one is the Mod Podge in golden glitter. And really enjoyed that. So, give you a close-up. Okay. And then I also finished another page by Lana Green Art. And on this one, again, I used the Luna paste and together with a stencil. So you can see the pattern here, that is the Luna paste. And the background is just gelatos. And then here her dress I had colored with the Pablo pencils. Hair was done with polychromos, skin most probably with Prismacolors and polychromos. And Lana Green Art is actually becoming one of my favorite artists as well. I just need to catch up a little bit with coloring her pages. For me, those beautiful portraits take a little bit of time to finish them. So but I will do my best to catch up on her. And then I also finished this page here by Renata Art. Rayan, yeah, she was also on Patreon, also at an Etsy store, but at the moment it's a little bit difficult. I think she is on Boosty and maybe still on Patreon. However, this was a freebie page there. It was actually free for everyone, so that was very nice. And yeah, I had started this one, I don't know, in 2022 most probably, maybe 21, I don't even know. And then finally finished this one. On the background I used distress inks and then a stencil, and also the Opal Blaze polish. Also tried to use it with a stencil, but that was difficult to bring it through there because it's yeah, not a paste basically. Yeah, but that was difficult. And then I just gave you a little bit of stickles, some glitters on her wings, and some outlining with shiny watercolors. And yeah, here is just a close-up for you. So then the next category is... What is the next category? So the next category is Color Your Heart, Untouched Books, Break the Seal, all that kind of stuff. And so I'm going to start with Witches. This is my favorite book by Coco Wo, my absolute favorite book. And I finally managed to get started this book. And this is the first page that I did. So this was basically also a whip. So I am combining actually those two categories here a little bit because, yeah, of course I also had whips that I managed to finish and led to the first page in the book. But basically this is just the first colored image in this book, so would go perfectly for Color Your Heart by Lovelia. On her dress again I used the Mod Podge glitter. You can see that this really was one of my favorite embellishments for 2023, and I think I will continue to use it. On the background I have used gel crayons again, gelatos, and make this very soft transitions for the sky, which I actually also really enjoyed. So let me give you a close-up. And then I also managed to get started with Christmas Cuties by Joshua Dunbar. And I colored this page for Christmas in July. This was hosted by Amanda Colors. Yeah, I really wanted to participate and use this occasion to finish a Christmas page because, yeah, you know, I just don't have a lot of time in the Christmas season. So I don't get many Christmas pages colored, and so that was actually nice. I don't actually have some glitters on here, especially effects. I thought, yeah, sometimes less is more, and I thought for this image, yeah, it was just enough to have it colored like it is. And yeah, so I love my Cuties here. My Cuties series by Joshua Dunbar, and I hope I will color a lot more in these books. So Joshua Dunbar Christmas Cuties. And then I have Fairy and Fantasy 2 by Christine Karan, and in this book I also managed to color my very first page. Whoops. And it was this one. This beautiful autumn page here, which I finished in March. So, you know, the seasonal, yeah, times are always kind of busy, and so I don't mind to finish pages out of the season, not a problem. I have a little bit of a shiny outline here. You know that I love to do shiny outlines with pearlescent watercolors like Guerrero or Gansei Tambi, or Perfect Pearls, all that kind of stuff works great for it. Also started a bunch new pages, but that I will show you in my whip video next week. Suzan, Hello Country by Joshua Dunbar. Also finished my first page from this book. And on this image here, I actually used Inktense mainly. So the smaller details like the flowers, all the flowers, and also the fence here and the barn, those are colored with pencils, with Prismacolors. But all the rest, like all the landscape, like the pathway, the grass, the trees, the sky, all of that is done with Inktense. And the page has buckled actually a little bit, of course. This is Amazon paper, it's quite thin, but I can live with it. It has flattened out very nicely, and for me this is good enough actually. I don't mind. So yeah. So this is that first page, and now I will make a little break. So Hello Country Spring by Joshua Dunbar. So the next untouched book that I colored my first image in is from Coco Wo Shibi Gold Halloween. And I had some whips in this book basically, and I just managed to finish this one here. Yeah, this one is not my favorite one. I messed up her face by adding the nose, which is just, the placement is wrong, and that's why she looks funny. But what I did like was the background, because the background was looking terrible. And then I decided to go over with gouache paints. And I have to say that I really enjoyed to go over with the gouache paints. I think this looks very nice, smooth. It's matte paint, so it would be perfect if you want to even color over a little bit with pencils. I think that would work. So that was a nice experience. So then I also colored my first page in Easyfold by Joshua Dunbar. This was also a whip that I had finished. And it is this one. And last year I actually found my love for easy pages, so to speak, because originally I thought, those easy books from Joshua, they are maybe not for me. But I have to say that I really enjoyed to color this giant mushroom here, and I also colored other easy books that you will see. So I love to use them for alcohol markers and even learning to blend with them. So that's working quite nicely. For example, those leaves here, those are colored only with the alcohol markers. I didn't go over with pencils, and I think the look is quite nice actually. On some areas I went over with pencils, and then I did my typical shiny outlining, which I love to do, especially on Joshua's easy pages. They are very thick outlines, so I covered them up, and I think that looks actually quite nice. So Easyfold by Joshua Dunbar. And then I also colored my first page in Characters Through Worlds and Times by Karan. And yeah, this was also a whip that I finished. And this was originally printed on a PDF page, so I take it out. The book came just later. And yeah, on this one I also used the Luna paste here with a stencil for this effectful splattering. So that's actually very nice. And then I have to say that this is one of my favorite images by Karan. I loved a raven, and I just love how she looks, like the sorceress. So I also used the Mod Podge Mega Glitter Palettes again on her dress. So that was something that I really enjoyed last year. So that's her. We just put her back. So, and now the next category is actually Break the Seal First Colored Page and Color Your Heart, but on pages that I haven't had as a whip, but that I started last year and finished last year. And this is Hexenstugger, Tales from the Witch's Cottage by Hannah Carlson. And I colored the title page in this book basically. And I'm not so happy with it, because I think that those two areas here, they don't fit together. This I did with Neocolor, those Cloudy Night Sky, which I actually really like. So if you just look at that, that looks quite nice. But then I worked with watercolors down here, and it doesn't look bad, it just doesn't fit together. But this book is finally started, because, I have a feeling that when books are started that I tend to grab to them more often. So Yeah, and I love this book. I think this might be my favorite book from Hannah Carlson from this new series here, from the Tales series. And so I'm looking forward to color more in this book this year. So then I have Easy Halloween. This is also from Joshua Dunbar, but it was published with Jade Summer, basically. And yeah, this is also like, no, come on. Yeah, this is also like easy coloring. And, you know, we have those big, easy illustrations, but I actually really like them. And I color them with gel crayons for the backgrounds, for example. Just quick and easy, nice blends, perfect for Amazon paper. Then alcohol markers, blending with them. And then just some details I do with pencil, for example, this little guy here, because he looks so cute. And for example, here the fire. I also practice fire for the first time, actually. So that's nice. And I think that this guy came out nicely. And since this was done for the Halloween season, I added a lot of sparkle and a lot of glitter. The glitter Mod Podge here on the smoke there. And then, you know, my shiny outlines. And yeah, so that's this page. And then I also colored my first page in Misographic Magical Earth by Joseph Catamang. And I have to say, since the Hidden Objects are gone, I really love his books and his illustrations. I also think that those are not as detailed as they were before, maybe, which I like better, because for me it's easier to just see the image, as strange as it sounds. But if it's too crowded, I don't like it. And yeah, this style I like a lot more. I'm not so happy with this image, I have to admit. The parts that I colored with pencil, for example, this tree with those flowers, I find it very beautiful, but I struggled with the background and with other things. And this is not my favorite result, which is a pity for my first page of him, from him. But yeah, I'm going to color more, hopefully, this year. And I hope I can do better then. So the next category is first page new book. So that means these books I have bought in 2023 and I started to color them, and that's very nice. This is Halloween Cuties by Joshua Dunbar. I love all his Cuties books. And yeah, this is the page that I did. I have to say this is not my favorite result, because I think I totally overdid it with the glitters. Some of you said you can never have too much glitter, but I'm not sure. I think this is a little bit too much. At least the lunar paste in the background is maybe a little bit much. But yeah, other than that, this was colored with Neocolor too. And then I used a Tombow blender pan for activating it. And I have to say that I really enjoy this method, and I want to dive into this method a lot more this year. So this was Halloween Cuties by Joshua Dunbar. Then I also bought my first Mtic Mouse book, a springtime coloring book by Morgan O'Brien. A lovely coloring friend just said that these images are perfect if you want to have a smaller project. And so I finally got my first one and colored my first image. And I have to say that this was a lot of fun. I loved it, and after that I got so many more of Morgan's books. Those with the mouse I like the most. I think I didn't get any other ones, but those with this little mouse lady here, I absolutely adore them. And this was colored with the Neocolor too. A little bit of pencil for the Moses fur. And yeah, my golden outline with Colera. I even have a video on that if you're interested how I do that. So this is Mtic Mouse, a springtime coloring book. And then in the Halloween season, I also colored from Mtic Mouse, a Halloween coloring book. I just got this book specifically for the Halloween season, and I got started with it. And this again is colored with the Neocolor 2 and with the Tombow blender pen, and then with with some shiny outlines. I think only the mouse's fur is colored with pencil. It's a very small one there. And yeah, all the rest just Neocolor. The buckling is actually not a whole lot. Actually, I can't see any buckling here, but yeah, I really enjoyed this method. It's a little bit quicker coloring because I colored this image, I think, in 90 minutes, and this is a record for me to do a page in one sitting. I never do that normally, so that was actually a lot of fun. So, Mtic Mouse. And then in the Halloween season, I really found my love for easy coloring or simplified pages. And this is Easy Spring by Joshua Dunbar. And yeah, this one I had finished in September, and this one is also a simplified page. This is another snail image that I finished. And yeah, you can see that most of it actually actually the whole image is done with alcohol blends, and I didn't go over with pencils here. So the background is done with gel crayons, and the whole image is done with alcohol markers. And then I did my outlines, some glitter outlines, not as many as I have on the other page, but a few I have here. Also here on the mushroom there is silver and like a violet one. I hope the violet is showing up. So in the shadow part I put a little bit of a violet color. But yeah, so that was actually a lot of fun. New experience, quick coloring with alcohol blends. And then I worked in Chris Rainiak's Morning Scribbles Halloween coloring book. Also simplified images, and I colored this a little cute guy here. And yeah, again, on Halloween pages I love to put my glitters, easy distress ink background, alcohol markers at the base or for coloring. And on some areas I went over with pencils, for example here on the roots, because I wanted to define them a little bit more. Then used some, this is Stickles gel here, which also is easily drying up. But yeah, I'm very happy with his eyes, on which I put a little bit more shading and also some stickles. The next time I would just get rid of those immense or very big reflections. I think he would look better without, but yeah, this is how he is now. And I'm looking forward to color more from Chris Rainiak. So then I also colored my first page in Fierce and Fantasy Faces Line Art and Grayscale by Hannah. And this is the image that I have colored. I bought this as a PDF book because I couldn't wait. And for this image there is a color along on the channel. So the whole image, if you want to see how you can follow it or do it yourself, you can follow my color along for it. The background is distress inks, and all the rest is Prismacolors. And yeah, you can see a lot of sparkle. So that was that. And then I also colored a page in Fairy and Fantasy 4. And for this image, I also have a color along. So this was the second color along on the channel. I changed my black skin color combination a little bit. I also used a marker base here for speeding it up a little bit, which helped actually really good. So yeah, this is another color along on the channel. So if you're interested in how this was done, I will try to remember to link it for you. I also colored in this PDF book that I have from Selina Fanek. This is Winched Magic. I I get her books as PDF books nowadays because I just like it better, and to print them and to work on my own paper. And this was the first page that I did in this book, basically. So. Oh yeah, the wings I also colored with alcohol markers, and I didn't went over with pencil, so all of that is done purely with alcohol marker blends. And I think that's actually turned out really nice. Yeah, I was really pleased with this result. It looks very graphic, like printed. And you don't have this shine, you don't have those, from the wax bloom, the wax shine. So that's actually quite nice. It's quite matte. Very nice. So, and then I colored my first image from Renata Berta. So, Renata Berta, I don't know if she publishes books, but she has an Etsy store. And sometimes I buy some PDF pages from her. And this is the very first image that I colored of her images. And I actually really enjoyed it. It was for Easter. I love those sakura blossoms here. And this is slightly grayscale, which makes it a little bit easier. I worked with Neocolor 2 on the background and some Guerrero shiny watercolors here on the moon. And yeah. This is her. So, and then the next category is body colorings. I think I will just get started with Enchanted Faces. I am in a body coloring group. The Enchanted Faces body coloring group is with some lovely ladies, and we did color some images. Let me see if I can find them. I actually marked them because I have quite a few images in this book. Yeah, so this was one of the pages that we have done in this group. This was actually my own pick. I picked the images for February, and yeah, I just colored her a little bit later, which is actually a pity. I really suck. I actually have to apologize to the ladies that that I'm not coloring enough, actually. I hope that I can participate this month and color the image that was chosen for January this year. January this year. So, whoopsie. Oh, no. Okay, so here's another page that was done in the group. I think I had actually finished this one a little bit earlier, but however, it was a page that was chosen last year for the group, and I have colored it. So, yeah, here it is. And then I think I have one more. Yeah, this one. So, and this was another one. This was the body coloring for January last year. And yeah, this group is helping to get some pages done. I have to admit that I suck a little bit. I don't know. But hopefully this year I can do some more pages that are chosen in the group. The page that is chosen for this month, let me show it if I can find it. I would love to color it. No, I cannot find it. Ah, here. So this is the page for January 24, and I hope to color this one. I love this image, and this would be a good opportunity to do it. So that was that. I also did 2 body colorings with the lovely Luna. You might know her if you're a YouTuber, because she comments under our videos. She is just lovely. And yeah, I did this body coloring with her. This is Spring Bringer by Karan, and it was the last Patreon image before she decided to actually this is actually before she more or less left Patreon. So but this image is also included in her newest fairy and fantasy book. So if you like this image, it's It's in the new book and you can get it. And most probably also on her Etsy shop. So yeah, this was a lot of fun. And I'm very thankful to Krista that I did this image, because I think if it wasn't for our body coloring, it might be that I just had procrastinated or postponed this image and didn't in the end didn't color this image. So I'm very happy that it was done. And yeah, so and then we actually decided to do another body coloring, because we both loved this image, and yeah, Krista knew that I also wanted to color this one. And this again is one image that if it wasn't for our body coloring, I think I would have just postponed it, to the images that I want to color. But, then they are in a stack of images I want to color, and you never do it, basically. So she got freed from this fate, and yeah. So this is Mariola Buc Sellina, and it was a lot of fun, and I enjoyed it a whole lot. So, and the last category is actually, let me check it. Show love to my books. These are books that I went back to and colored basically like my second, third, or whatever page in it. So the books are started and I just return to them and color more in them. And one of them is actually this book here by Coco Wo, which is my favorite Coco Wo book. And I managed to color a second page in this book last year for Halloween. And it's this one. And to be honest, I hope that I will add more images to this book this year. So I would love to come back to this book and maybe add at least one more image. Maybe even more, but Coco Wo has actually also other books that I like, so maybe I will also color in those books. And yeah, so this is her. Okay. Then also I have Fantasy and Fairy Cuties by Daria Sakiasoy, and in this book I colored this image here after I did my whips, and this was basically the very first image that I started last year. So, when the new year starts, you always make a decision which will be your first image that you start coloring, and 2023 it was this one. The first page that I started. Unfortunately, it took me until June until I finished it, so that was long. But this was a lot of fun. I did the distress ink background. I added a lot of stickled gel here. Also worked with a stencil. And yeah, gave her my favorite colors like purples. And yeah, this was a lot of fun. So this was her. Then I also showed love to A Fairy Lives in Every Garden by Destiny Lauritsen, and I colored basically the title page here. So I just went back and colored more in this book. Also because this is one of my 10 books to finish, so it is one of my favorite books, and yeah, I also hope to add some more images to this book. I do have a started page in this, which I hopefully can finish in 2024. And yeah, so this was A Fairy Lives in Every Garden. Yeah, then I also colored some Patreon images. This was the February Patreon image from Christine Karan. And yeah, this was just Trollarina. And it also took me quite a long time until I could finish it. I don't know why, but yeah, this is Trollarina. Another February image was Rosie by Daria Sakiasoy. This was, I think, for Valentine's Day, maybe, or not, or maybe it was the one for January. I can't remember. But this was also a Patreon page from Daria Sakiasoy, and yeah, it was one that I enjoyed, and I did a lot of Mod Podge glitter glue here in the background. So, yeah, it was a lot of fun to color this image here. And then I also worked in Mustic Art by David Peterson. This is a book that I really love and that I try to return back to. And the page that I colored is basically this page here with a snail. Yeah, I had chosen it because it has a snail in it. And I wanted to color images with snails. And so I decided to go for this one. Mustic Art I love to color with Inktense and with mixed mediums, because this book is just perfect for it. The paper is very good and the sketchy line art or graphic line art is just perfect. You put some color onto it and it looks great. So I definitely want to color more in this book because I have a buddy coloring with Erica from Elm Colors. I'm looking forward to that one. And then I also colored in Enchanted Halloween by Hannah Lynn, and I'm very happy that I went back to this book because the last image that I had finished in this book was from, let me check it, I think it was from 2019, and since 2019 I hadn't colored in this one. So I'm very happy that I finally went back to this book and colored another image. And yeah, I hope that I will do a little bit more in Hannah Lynn books this year in her, A4 books, like in the bigger books, and not only work in the small Enchanted Faces book, because she has so many beautiful images and I think they all deserve some love. So, and then I think it's the last one that I have to share is from Fairy and Fantasy by Karan. This is her first book in the series. And the page that upsala, that was not so nice. Oh, that was not so good. Now I have a marking here. Oh no. So this was the page that I had colored in this book. I wanted to color this one for a couple of years, and then I decided I will just do it. I told you already about the images that I want to color but always postpone because there are other ones that are more important at that time or more urgent. But here I just decided I want to color it and I just get started with it. And this was a lot of fun. I used alcohol markers, I used neo colors for the background, I used some pencils. And this was just with mixed mediums and it was a lot of fun. So, and basically that is the last image. And so before I leave you, I actually want to give you some stats. So maybe you've counted with me, but the number of pages that I have completed in last year were 49 images. So that's not too bad. I didn't reach my goal of 52, but only 3 pages were missing. And unfortunately, there wasn't any time to get those 3 pages done. I just hadn't had any time. It's a pity actually, but I never was that close to my goal, so that's not too bad I think. And then I have completed 23 whips, so 23 started pages from previous years that I have finished last year. Then I did my first page in 22 uncolored books. There are 6 books that I just bought in 2023. I did 5 body colorings. I colored 3 images with snails in it. And I filmed 2 color alongs for you. So, and that's the stats of last year. I hope you enjoyed this video and I hope I will see you in my next one. See you everyone and bye!